Hello! Today we'll be talking about Igglybuff, the first normal fairy-type Pokemon introduced in Gen 2, although it didn't get the fairy typing until Gen 6. Because of this, there's an argument that could be made that this should be considered the first normal fairy Pokemon, as Igglybuff is the pre-evolution of Jigglypuff. Its previous PYC dates are August 18th, 1996, June 9th, 1999, March 30th, 2002, January 18th, 2005, November 9th, 2007, August 30th, 2010, June 20th, 2013, April 10th, 2016, January 30th, 2019, and November 20th, 2021. I find this pre-evolution interesting. While it keeps the color and shape of the mouth, limbs, and general body of its evolutions, the eye color and hair are different. The swirl marking is also an interesting decision. I remember Igglybuff in an episode of the anime where it's in a mansion with a bunch of other pre-evolutions introduced in this generation. Anyway, let's get in the Bulbapedia article. Before I do though, I should let you know that for the first half of the section, I will be having my long hair, but for the second half, I have the short hair. Hello and welcome to the Bulbapedia section of the video. Today we'll be talking about Igglybuff, the balloon Pokemon, whose number is 0174. This is what it looks like. Its type is normal fairy, abilities, cute charm, or competitive in Gen 6+. Friend Guard is its hidden ability. Gender ratio is 25% male and 75% female. Catch rate is 170, or 32.4%. Breeding, an egg group, no eggs discovered. Hatch time, 10 cycles. Height, 1 foot, 0.3 meters. Weight, 2.2 pounds, or 1 kilogram. Base experience yield is 39 in Gen 2 through 4, and 42 in 5+. Leveling rate is fast. EV yield is 1 in HP. Shape is that. Footprint is that. Pokedex color is pink, and base friendship is 70. Igglybuff is a dual-type normal fairy baby Pokemon introduced in Gen 2. Prior to Gen 6, it was a pure normal type. It evolves into Jigglypuff when leveled up with high friendship, which evolves into Wigglytuff when exposed to a moonstone. Biology, Igglybuff is a small, bipedal, balloon-like Pokemon that is completely pink. Its body can turn deep pink when the temperature increases or when it sings continuously. It has a rounded tuft of hair on top of its head, a small swirl-like pattern on its forehead, and red eyes. Igglybuff has small stubby limbs and is usually seen levitating in the air. Rather than walking, this small Pokemon bounces like a ball to move around, as its body is extremely soft and elastic, although it may not be able to stop if it does this. As Igglybuff moves, it secretes sweat with a sweet fragrance, which calms the emotions of its foes. Although it has singing abilities, Igglybuff is not able to sing for long periods due to its underdeveloped vocal cords. It often gets a sore throat from singing too frequently. When Igglybuff gets praised, its singing slowly becomes better and better. Igglybuff tend to live in the grasslands close by freshwater streams. It uses water from the streams to gargle in its sore throat. As mentioned in Pokemon Sleep, Igglybuff is known to bounce around while sleeping. On rare occasions, Igglybuff practices its singing as it dreams. Evolution, Igglybuff evolves into Jigglypuff, which evolves into Wigglytuff. So you got Igglybuff, Jigglypuff, Wigglytuff. Game data, NPC appearances. In Pokemon Stadium 2, Igglybuff appears in a quiz show styled minigame alongside Cleffa. A series of Pokemon parade across the screen, and the player has to count how many of the Pokemon species the player is instructed to count parade across the screen. The score is based on how close the player is to the right number. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky. The special episode, Igglybuff the Prodigy, features the adventures of Guildmaster Wigglytuff as an Igglybuff when he was younger. Aww. Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. Another Igglybuff appears at Serene Village as a friend of Badoo. Igglybuff will ask the player to make a delivery to Armaldo in order to make a connection. Pokedex entries in Gen 2 and Gold. It has a very soft body. If it starts to roll, it will bounce all over and be impossible to stop. Silver. Its extremely flexible and elastic body makes it bounce continuously. Anytime, anywhere. Crystal, instead of walking with its short legs, it moves around by bouncing on its soft, tender body. For Stadium 2, if you have Pokemon Red, Silver, or Crystal inserted, you get the Gold entry, but if you have Pokemon Blue, Gold, or Yellow inserted, you get the Silver entry. In Gen 3 and Ruby, Igglybuff's vocal cords are not sufficiently developed.
It would hurt its throat if it were to sing too much. This Pokemon gargles with fresh water from a clean stream. Sapphire, Igglybuff has a soft and plushy body that feels very much like a marshmallow. From this body wafts a gently sweet fragrance that soothes and calms the emotions of its foes. Emerald, its soft and pliable body is very bouncy when it sings continuously with all its might. Its body steadily turns a deepening pink color. Fire Red is the silver entry, while leaf green is the gold entry. In Gen 4 and Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, it has a soft and bouncy body. Once it starts bouncing, it becomes impossible to stop. Heart Gold and Soul Silver are their gold and silver counterparts. In Gen 5, Black and White is Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum's entry. In Black 2 and White 2, its body has a faintly sweet scent and is bouncy and soft. If it bounces even once, it cannot stop. In Gen 6, X is Crystal's entry, Y is the gold entries and Leaf Green's entry. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are basically Ruby and Sapphires, but Igglybuff and Pokemon are the correct casing. In Gen 7 and Sun, it likes to sing, but is not yet good at it. With praise and encouragement, it will get better little by little. Moon, it moves by bouncing along. As it moves a lot, it sweats and its body gives off a sweet aroma. Ultra Sun, it's always practicing its singing because it wants to improve, even when it's asleep. It keeps singing in its dreams. Ultra Moon, left to its own devices, it will constantly practice singing. You should make it take a break so it doesn't hurt its throat. In Gen 8 and Sword, Igglybuff loves to sing. Its marshmallow-like body gives off a faint, sweet smell. Shield, taking advantage of the softness of its body, Igglybuff moves as if bouncing. Its body turns a deep pink when its temperature rises. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are their Diamond and Pearl counterpart. In Gen 9, Scarlet is the Black 2 and White 2 entry. Violet is the Sun entry. We've got Igglybuff in the Alola Pokedex and Igglybuff in the Paldea Pokedex. So you can see there's a few of them here. They're by the beach, I guess, or the shore anyway. I don't know if it's the ocean or a river. I mean, it's probably the ocean. Game locations. Side game locations. In events, held items, Pokewalker. You get the Grappa Berry 100% of the time. Stats, base stats, HP 90, attack 30, defense 15, special attack 40, special defense 20, speed 15 for a total of 210. Pokathlon stats, type effectiveness, damaged normally by normal fighting, flying, ground, rock, fire, water, grass, electric, psychic, ice, and fairy. Weak to poison and steel for double, immune to ghost and dragon, resistant to bug and dark for half. Notes, if this Pokemon is given a ring target, the effectiveness of ghost type moves is 1, so it go from 0 to 1. And the same is true for dragon in both cases. Yes. Due to the conversion to fairy type, the effectiveness of dragon type, dark type, steel type, bug type, and poison type moves were 1. So dragon went from 1 to 0. Dark went from 1 to half. Steel from 1 to 2. Bug from 1 to half. Poison from 1 to 2. And fighting moves were 2 prior to Gen 6, so fighting went from 2 to 1. Learn set by leveling up. 1. Sing, Pound, and Copycat. 4. Defense Curl. 8. Sweet Kiss. 12. Disarming Voice. 16. Disable. 20. Charm. By TM I'm doing, because I probably did them in the Jigglypuff video, same with by breeding. Side game data, I got all this. Pokemon Ranger, Guardian Signs in the browser entry. It creates hearts around itself that make Pokemon tired. Got all this. Yep. Okay, Pokemon Sleep. Its soft and elastic body makes it bounce even in its sleep. On very rare occasions, it apparently practices its singing in its dreams. So you got bouncy sleep, spacey sleep, singing sleep, and a top belly sleep. Evolution data, Igglybuff. Level up with high friendship, you get Jigglypuff, Moonstone, Wigglytuff, and this one can be bred to get Igglybuff. Presumably this one can also do that. Sprites here, so, oh, that's very pink. That's definitely a lot pinker than these later ones would be. So yeah, green. The swirl's also pink, that's interesting. And also that direction. Got green as the highlights for this, rather than the pink. This one's a different pink for Crystal. Gen 3, you've got the the swirl is a different direction. It's kind of a red now. This is a different pink. This is probably closer to the modern pink, but oh well, it's the shiniest for now. Gen 4, a different pink for both of them, I think. Yeah, swirl looks like that now. Gen 5, full back sprites. It's pretty cool. Then we got the modern pink in Gen 6, and this is now a black swirl. And you've got, the shiny, that kind of pink. Not much difference in Gen 7 here. Then you got cross-generation home. So yeah, you got that. Oh, the swirl is still kind of that red for the shiny. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's, I guess, started in Gen 6 here. Huh. Interesting. Other sprites, Crystal Credit sprite. So it's, yeah, going. It's been around, I guess. That's cool. In the anime, Igglybuff in Pokemon the series. That's fun. An Igglybuff egg in Pokemon the series. Got that. Pokedex entries in episode 243 in Ash's Pokedex. Igglybuff, the balloon Pokemon. Igglybuff's resilient body allows it to bounce endlessly once it's been put in motion. In the manga, an Igglybuff egg in Pokemon Adventures and an Igglybuff in Pokemon Adventures. Okay, you got all this. Yep, in the TCG. Other appearances, Super Smash Bros. Melee. Igglybuff only appears as a random trophy. Trophy information, Igglybuff, which evolve into Jigglypuff, are so incredibly elastic that they always seem to be bouncing. They have stubby legs, so for these Pokemon, bounding from place to place is much faster than walking. Unlike its equally adorable relatives, Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff, Igglybuff has red eyes. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of Sky. Igglybuff stars as the player character in the special episode Igglybuff the Prodigy. This Igglybuff is the unevolved Guildmaster Wigglytuff from the main story. Trivia: this first point we read in the Caterpie video. Igglybuff has the lowest base defense stat of all fairy-type Pokemon. This third point we read in the Cleffa video. A pre-alpha sketch depicts an unused Pokemon with the same Pokedex number as Igglybuff. This fifth point we did in the Jigglypuff video. This final point we did in the Cleffa video. Origin: Igglybuff appears to be based on a balloon due to its inflatable body. Its soft fur and singing ability may be based on plush toys that play music to help children fall asleep. Its round shape resembles a powder puff or a cream puff, and its pink color, rubbery skin, and ability to learn bounce are similar to a rubber ball. Name origin: Igglybuff may be a combination of Jiggly or Wiggly and Buff, a pale, soft, flexible leather. Pooperin may be a combination of Poochie, petite, and Purin, pudding, referring to its soft body. In other languages, see also references, external links to the baby Pokemon. Let's move on.
Now let's watch Igglybuff's first scene in the anime.
Hello and welcome to the anime portion of the video. Today we are watching Pikachu and Pichu. In this short, Ash Ketchum, the main character, and his friends have left their Pokemon in a park on top of a skyscraper, and Ash's Pikachu has seen a couple of Pichu known as the Pichu brothers. Pikachu saved one of them from falling and ended up on their building, and so they wanted a little adventure to try to get him back to his original building, but they've stopped here at the Pichu brothers clubhouse, where now all of the other members of the club, I guess, are introducing themselves. That's a Magby. There's the Igglybuff. Smoojo.
Electrode. Bellsprout.
So here is about where we started in the Furret video, so we'll have to stop here. Let's move on.
Now let's see why people love Igglybuff. Now let's look at fan art.
Hello and welcome to the fan art section of the video. No, we set in fan art, so instead we're looking at TV Nerd fan art. For those of you who aren't familiar with the series, what we do is we go through these images until we find an image that doesn't contain an Igglybuff. So we've got the face that has been passed down by Kalumon94. So it's this Igglybuff with some character's face. I don't know exactly what anime they're from. I don't know if it's like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or One Piece or something like that, maybe, I don't know. But it's very weird looking. Then we've got Pokemon subspecies, Igglybuff by Cool Pikachu, 29. So we've got the standard Igglybuff here, and then we got one where it looks a little bit like that, and has freckles, and it's a little bit different color. I got a tall one. I got one with these kind of darker eyeshadow, and the things, the hair is like that, and the swirls on the cheek, I guess. I got this spikier one that's a little bit more, yeah. It's like also got the weird eyeliner thing. Yep. Okay. Weird, but okay. Then we got Igglybuff by Clinkors. So that's just cute Igglybuff image. Yeah, very nice. This doesn't contain an Igglybuff, so we'll move on.
Thanks to everyone who submitted fan art. I'll be streaming tonight at 5 p.m. CMT, Central Mountain Time, but I won't be getting an Igglybuff. Instead, I'll be trying to completely evolve Cyndaquil and Totodile. Tomorrow I'll be talking about Togepi at 8 a.m. I'll be uploading the video early because I'll be streaming tomorrow at 9 a.m. As always, this is my proper outfit, and you'll see me tomorrow.